Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. And yes, it is a big fight week. Arguably the biggest fight week of the year, of the century. I don't know about that, but it is pretty big. And it is in fact Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Huge fight for undisputed super middleweight title. It's not really about the title, so it's just about, arguably pound for pound. Maybe not one, I'd say pound for pound number 3 versus pound for pound number 4, or pound for pound 2 v 3, but I don't think so. But it's a big fight, and we're going to be predicting it today. We're going to be talking about the whole thing. So yeah, but before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications for all new videos coming out soon. Some big ones, of course. Big fights coming up. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so Canelo versus Crawford. It's in Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, the big one. I think 65,000 are going to be there. If I'm correct, it'll be something like that, which is good, big fight. It's kind of rare you get these stadium shows in America, so when you do, it is a big fight. Of course, Jake Paul v. Tank Davis, that's not in the stadium. That probably couldn't sell the stadium out. It'll sell the arena out, though. That's also coming to Netflix. This one is on Netflix. Netflix are getting the big fights right now. Simple. They're getting the big ones. And it makes sense, to be honest. I mean, really, if you're talking about fair, DAZN probably deserve it a bit more, since they put on all, Crawford and Canelo recent fights. But Netflix are paying the most, so Netflix get it. But let's get into the predictions. Let's talk about each fighter. So, Canelo Alvarez, right? Top super middleweight, comfortable in the division, right? And, you look at the last fights. That's what you got to look at. So he fought William Skull, Edgar Berlanga, Munguia. This is all in around a year, 2 years, a year and a half, or a year or so. And some good wins. They're not incredible, right? They're not amazing opponents. Edgar Berlanga got knocked out by Hamza Shiraz. And Munguia, there's stuff going on with him. And William Skull kind of just ran away from him. So his opponents haven't been great, to be honest with you. They've not been great. They've been decent. They have been decent, but they haven't been top-notch, top-level opponents. But what I will say is they have been pretty consistent. The fights, 6 months in between, of course. He only really fights Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day, so that's twice a year. Whereas Crawford only fights once a year. So is that going to take a toll on the fight? Possibly. We'll have to see. But they're decent wins, right? Not knockout wins. He got knockdowns in the first 2. The William Skull fight was disappointing, but I guess he was running away. You could argue, he should have, got the knockout even though he was running away. Close the gaps and stuff like that. But, if you win in the fight, does it really matter? Do you really need the knockout if you already got it in the bag? But yeah, he was basically just running. And in the end, he won the fight, so it didn't really matter whether he got the knockout or not. But it's still a boring and, performance, whereas Crawford has said he's going to be, more on the front foot, and it should be a better fight. I hope it's a better fight than that, to be honest. I think it will. But let's move on to Terence Crawford now. Crawford is a bit more a bit less actually, a bit less active. He fought Madrimov back in August of last year, so already a year um, of, I won't call it ring rust because, training and all that, but a year out the ring. Don't know, he's used to it though. The year before, he stopped Errol Spence, so that was good, but based off the Madrimov performance, it was a decent performance. Of course, it was at £154, and this is at £168, which is pretty mad. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it is at £168. And to be honest, I don't know how the going up in weight is going to work for Crawford, if it's going to be all okay, if it's going to work well, or it could take a toll on the fight. And that's a big factor in the fight because he fought once at 154, which was against Madrimov. Before then, it was 140. So, £14 each fight is pretty crazy. But if he can do it, he can do it. Coming up in weight is easier, but you're still not used to the weight. Coming down is harder, but you're still not used to the weight when you're going up. So that'll be interesting. That's interesting. The Madrimov fight itself, he beat Madrimov fair, right? He didn't knock him out. But Madrimov is no bum. Madrimov is no William Skull. Madrimov is much better. Of course, still 154 pounder, but Madrimov is a lot better. Madrimov took it with Virgil Ortiz as well. And I think Crawford did better against Madrimov than Virgil Ortiz did against Madrimov. So that says something. They both won, but still. So yeah, the opponents, I lean towards Crawford, but the inactivity is interesting. He might be used to it. I guess he is used to it if he's only taking one fight a year. He's probably good at sparring, good at training, and it's probably not as big of a deal for Crawford as it is for Canelo. But the fight itself, how will it play out? Well, Crawford says he's going to be on the front foot. Canelo is always there if you're there. But I don't think this is the way to go about it with Crawford. I think if he wants to truly win this fight, you can't be going for the knockout, man. This fight, it won't end in a knockout. I can just tell. I've seen enough big fights to know that you're in a massive stadium. This fight, I would be surprised. No, don't get me wrong, right? Fights in stadiums end in knockouts sometimes. I saw Dubois get knocked out in Wembley Stadium, but that fight, that was like someone will get knocked out. Whereas this is more, middleweight, big fight. I think it's going to be technical. And I think if Crawford, don't get hit, I think he can win the fight. If he goes for the knockout, if he's a bit more risky, he could get caught by Canelo, and that could be bad, right? That could be very bad. If he keeps it like that, I think Crawford wins the fight. If he doesn't, but he loses. But I do think, come on, Crawford's going to be smart. Crawford's probably got better IQ than Canelo. I think Canelo's past his best now. I think he is. And I think Crawford, despite being older, is still very, very good. Whereas Canelo, he's lost. He lost to Bivol, and the fight will be different to the Bivol fight because Bivol weighed a lot heavier, whereas Crawford doesn't want. Well, Bivol was a heavier guy, whereas Crawford is a more lighter guy. So it will be interesting. It will be interesting. But yeah, my prediction is Terence Crawford takes the win. I hope he gets the win. I do hope he gets the win. I am rooting for Terence Crawford. And yeah, that's my prediction. Terence Crawford with the win. Again, big fight. Netflix is promoted by Dana White, which I think is pretty good, right? Really good promoter for the UFC. And they're the big brand in America. So you know, Dana White promoting this fight. It's good. I think it's good. You know, it's gonna get eyes on it. People who watch UFC are gonna want to watch this as well. It's not so great, the fight, in terms of like what I've seen. I mean, to be honest, it's on Netflix. It's practically free, so a lot of people are gonna watch it. I think any boxing fan in the world will watch it. Um, and it's not pay per view, and tickets itself have sold well. So, to be honest, it's just because I haven't seen like much promotion, but it is fight week. We'll get some stuff. It'll start to heat up, just like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson heated up. This will heat up as well. And yeah, it's going to be a great fight. I'm really looking forward to it this weekend. And yeah, anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.